Thank you, Mr. Schultz. I think great presentation. I can't agree more with you, especially for Indian ecosystem and supply chain to graduate from what we are doing to meet the aerospace standards. I think metrology plays a very crucial role, and some of the work that Mer has been doing and continues to push the boundaries is really helpful for the ecosystem to flourish. So having said that, I wanted to share some of my thoughts around what's the opportunity for India in the aerospace and defense ecosystem. To give you a little bit of context, I believe India is right now at an inflection point in the aerospace and defense manufacturing. This sector at one point of time used to be a very import-heavy sector, and we had very limited manufacturing that we were doing for global players. But the thing seems to have are on a good path to change as we move forward. At least if we observe in the last 4 to 5 years, the major OEMs have increased their spend tremendously in India. There's a lot of defense manufacturing that's happening locally in the country. So it looks like we are all culminating to a point where it's no longer a question if India will emerge as a major player in aerospace and defense industry. It's more about how fast and when will this happen. So there are a couple of reasons why this is also getting driven at such a pace right now. If you just look at the global context for a bit, see, post-pandemic, there's a huge sharp fall in demand. Post-pandemic, of course, the travel has come back with vengeance. There's a V-shaped recovery that we have seen in demand, but the supply chain has never been able to catch up. Today, we see a lot of problems in manufacturers in the West in terms of talent attrition, availability of people to do a lot of work. So naturally, the industry has been looking at outside the traditional avenues of manufacturing for aerospace and defense, which has been for a long period of time US and Western Europe. Generally, when you talk about manufacturing, while China comes up as a first answer, but with the geopolitical situations that we are seeing today, and especially for a sensitive sector like aerospace and defense industry, people are definitely looking at destination outside China. And that's where you would have heard about a lot of formal programs like China Plus One, China Unplugged Strategy, etc., etc. So there we see a lot of opportunity for an emerging country like India. Of course, to add to that, India is also one of the largest spender in terms of both defense and civil aircrafts, right? India is third largest in terms of their defense spending. I think we spend more than $80 billion in terms of our defense budgets. Even in civil aviation, if you look at the last two largest orders in the aviation sector have been placed by India, one by Air India and the other one by Indigo Airlines. So we see a very strong growth in the civil aviation sector also, which is also sort of boosting this industry as we move forward. Today, we see more than 1,500 plus aircraft orders backlog just from India on these major OEMs. Traditionally, what we have observed over a period of time is wherever the market moves, industry tends to move in that direction. So that's where we see a lot of push from OEMs also to look at India, which is where we are seeing that growth started in the last 4-5 years. Domestically also, there has been a lot of encouragement and push from the government. We have seen the 𝗦𝗵𝗶𝗆, Make in India initiatives, which is being driven by the government, which is increasing the local manufacturing and pushing the increase in spend locally. Of course, we are looking at if there's some progress that we can make around the PLI schemes, but I'm sure something is around the corner. We also have seen in the last decade or so lots of liberalization around FDI in this sector, which is also obviously helping the sector to attract more investments from global players. We also have seen a lot of infrastructure growth. We have seen today a lot of dedicated aerospace parks in some parts of the country. While there's still lots of work to done, but we have seen a lot of this already happening, which is also sort of helping the country. So just if I were to look at this context and the opportunity that's available, what should we as industry do? There are, I think, two things that we have to focus on. One thing is talent. The second thing is technology. I think in terms of technology, there are a couple of elements that I would really press on. One thing is, of course, digital adaptation. How soon we can become digitally more adaptable. While aerospace industry is technologically very advanced industry, but in terms of digital adoption, globally also it's been a laggard. I think if we can take a front seat in digital adoption, that will help us make our own space. Second thing, like from the earlier presentation, some of our ecosystem supplier also has to increase their focus around metrology, because that's what differentiates aerospace manufacturing to rest of the manufacturing, where our tolerances are much tighter. Whereas here we talk about micron level tolerances when compared to few tenths of unlike in other industries. And also, one thing that we'll have to focus in, how do we keep developing these clusters of ecosystem where rather than competing with each other, how we can complement each other in terms of capabilities that we are developing and provide a formidable solution to the global aerospace supply chain. Third thing, and the most important thing that I would like to focus on is, while we talk about a lot of talent that's available in the country, still a lot of our talent is very raw and not industry ready. We have more than 1.5 million engineers that are added to our workforce every year. How do we nurture that talent and make them aerospace and advanced manufacturing ready also determines how soon we'll be able to be successful. That's where I see opportunity for academia and industry to collaborate, come together and work on some of these latest technologies and help them adapt quicker, and also help industry to put this workforce into application quite quickly. And last but not the least, I think we'll have to continue to focus on quality. This particular industry, I mean, it's pretty, as it is very critical in terms of safety and quality requirements. All of us have to focus on building AS 9100 standards, the necessary certifications and compliance towards those requirements. That's something that's also going to be very important for our success. So those are some of the thoughts that I wanted to share on the industry, but again, we'll be happy to take any questions as we move forward.